our last award of the night, another sentimental award, and one other legendary figure that we will be celebrating next Friday. So this year we are giving away a very special award in honor of Jerry NeSmith. Each year, we have the option of offering the Historic Athens President's Award. This year's president is Kevin Bates, who's really done just a wonderful and generous job of leading our organization. Kevin will be awarding the President's Award this year to Commissioner Jerry NeSmith, who recently passed and has left a large hole in this community and will be very much missed. Commissioner NeSmith was a principled, passionate, and outspoken advocate for the Athens community. As part of his work in our city, Jerry helped to champion good stewardship and preservation for some of our most critical historic resources. Last year, it was Jerry's passionate advocacy for the Beach Haven Park and Athens Welcome Center SPLOST projects that helped ensure that approximately $5 million in funding would be reserved for preservation projects. Thanks to his support at our Historic Athens Brown Bag on the subject, thanks to behind-the-scenes phone calls to the Citizens Advisory Committee, thanks to words of encouragement and impassioned statements from behind the rail, Jerry made sure that these projects made the list. In fact, when the Athens Welcome Center project briefly fell off the list, Jerry ensured that it found its way back on, which is no easy thing to do. He helped protect the legacy of Athens, and he did so while having nuanced opinions about preservation. He wasn't someone that anyone in this community can say always had the same opinion, nor is he someone that always bowed to any one point of view. He would listen, he would consider, he would change his mind, and once he was fired up about something, he made sure everyone else around it was fired up too. We'll be forever grateful for the legacy that he has helped preserve. As we move forward on the Beach Haven Park project, we will always remember that it wouldn't have been possible without his advocacy. And it's our thrill here and our privilege to humbly present Jerry NeSmith with the Historic Athens President's Award. And we will recognize Jerry in further detail as part of next Friday's episode of this series. Thanks everyone for continuing to tune in. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the NeSmith family in just a moment. Let me lay some groundwork before we do. I'm going to bring this up right next to me. So the President's Award is traditionally given out to a project or a person that has left a tremendous legacy on Athens, Georgia. Last year, Kim Klinowski, our then board president, helped us prepare it as part of the Finney Spalding Award. It went to Linda Davis for her work with Brooklyn Cemetery. And that's just one in a long line of President's Award that have gone to acknowledge individuals that have left a lasting mark on a community that is often concerned with its own legacy. Tonight won't be an easy conversation for anyone involved, but it's an important one to have. And I cannot say enough how grateful I am to our board president, Kevin Bates, for his decision on this award. And I'm especially grateful for the bravery and the love that we see with the NeSmith family who is joining us tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them on screen here, and then we'll have a conversation with them about why this award decision was given. So let me go ahead and bring the NeSmiths in with us. Great. And then give me one moment, folks. I'm just turning on your microphone. All right. And we have the NeSmiths with us. Hello, folks. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And let me correct here. So that's Farrell, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to make sure we are on our P's and Q's here. So I'm going to correct that. All right, great. All right. So Noel, Farrell, Jason, thank you so much for being here with us. We know this isn't an easy time, but we appreciate the chance to say thank you for Jerry's legacy. So I'd like to start by reading to you a statement that was written by our board president, Kevin Bates. And then I'd like to share just a few additional things before we virtually present the award. Is that okay?
Yeah. We also have a statement whenever that is appropriate.
Oh, that's great. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we can't wait. Thank you. All right. So here's Kevin's words. I'm just sharing them with you. So It is a humbling honor to recognize the memory of Jerry NeSmith with this year's Historic Athens President's Award. Our organization exists to celebrate and conserve the community heritage of Athens, Georgia, a mission Commissioner NeSmith embodied with his work as a community advocate. Thanks to Jerry's passionate advocacy during last year's SPLOS season, 2 signature preservation projects will now come to light. Historic Beach Haven Park, along with improvements in accessibility for all visitors to the Athens Welcome Center, housed in the oldest residence in Athens, Georgia. We are confident Jerry's legacy, like the buildings, neighborhoods, and historic sites that he helped preserve for all Athenians during his tenure on the commission, will live on. We are thankful for his service to the Athens community and to his family for sharing his passion, energy, and friendship with all of us. Sincerely, Kevin Bates. So I wanted to start by just sharing that. Jason, I know before we went on air, we talked about this award, and we talked about the idea that, and Noel, and you were there when we were talking about this too, that since your father's unfortunate passing, you've realized again and again how many different ways he was involved around the community in ways you didn't even know. And so we want to just highlight, I guess, 3 aspects of that, and then we'd love to hear whatever you have to say. Okay. So the first thing is, I've said as much online, but it would be remiss while I have the 3 of you. I just want to speak personally to say that my road to being able to have the thrill of working with Historic Athens runs right through Jerry. Jerry, when I was wanting to leave the private sector, but trying to find the courage to come back to Athens, a mutual friend of mine, Eric Lewis, was the one who introduced me to Jerry right after he was elected. We met at Etienne, and it was that conversation that gave me the courage to go back to the MPA, which he then wrote my letter of recommendation to do. When I needed a fellowship at the Department of Treasury, he was my letter of ref guy again. And I know that story probably sounds very familiar because I know since he's left us that I've heard again and again from other people that had moments like that with Jerry. So that's my personal I wouldn't be here without. The other thing, though, that's so important is that during last year's SPLOS season, we had to make some really tough decisions about the future of Athens, because there were, I think, I almost feel like we should bring Marilyn back on, because Marilyn was on the Citizens Committee. But, there were roughly 2 or 3 times more projects and dollars than there was funding available. And there were so many exciting projects and well thought out projects. We were really nervous about the 2 projects we were advocating for. One was Beach Haven Park, and one was ensuring that the Athens Welcome Center could have ADA and improvements that would allow everyone that visits Athens, as they touch down in our Welcome Center, to ensure that it was open to people of all abilities. And those projects almost fell off that list multiple times. And in one point, the Welcome Center one did. And I think it's a real testament to Jerry, not only that he fought for him tooth and nail, not only that he attended our brown bag at the Linden House to throw his support behind Beach Haven, but, and I think this is the key Jerry element that we want to highlight tonight, is the nuance that he applied in his thinking. We were in the middle of ongoing conversations about the West Downtown Historic District. He had some concerns about the origins of that district, although he was very supportive of the idea of it. We were working out everything from what the size of it would be, and I still remember the last lunch I had sitting down with him, kind of going over all the logistics of it. The fact that he could compartmentalize so well makes him one of the rarest people in the world, that he could support our cause while determining how he felt about different components of it. And so the last thing I just really want to say to you is, next year and the year after, as COVID, eventually leaves us, and we have thousands of people each year that their first touchdown experience into Athens is our Welcome Center. The fact that regardless of their mobility devices, the fact that regardless of what, accessibility challenges they may need, the fact that they're going to be able to experience the oldest house in Athens and be welcomed here in the right way does not happen without Jerry NeSmith. And when Beach Haven Park opens up, and for the first time, this legendary area that people have talked about in Athens for so long, when it's open to the public, when that house is preserved, when that side of town, which so desperately needed a public park, is open, and we have this historic park to inspire the people that can live and walk to that area, all of that will only be possible because of the work that your father and your husband, that Jerry did. And so it's our privilege to say thank you. And so yeah, it's with that in mind, and of course at the issuance of our board president, Kevin Bates, that we want to make sure that your family knows that this year's award winner is of course Jerry NeSmith. So thank you so much for sharing him with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. Jason, you were the one who said you had a statement. Should I open the floor for y'all?
Sure. You can toss it over to us.
Please.
All right. So, in the last 2 weeks, the family has had so many strangers reach out to us and tell us how Dad has touched their lives. As proud as he was of his accomplishments, he did so much more good that didn't come to light until it was time to pay respects. The outreach has meant so much to us. It has helped us further understand the man who was our father and husband. He's been a champion of neighborhoods starting since the late 1970s in Atlanta, and he just hasn't stopped.
The Beach Haven Park property was something he did talk about often, and with a visible glow of excitement. It was a very personal thing to him. He was not able to get all of us onto the property to see it before he passed, but looking at pictures of it in its current state and the plans for the future, I can feel his energy and anticipation. And we are finding that the energy that he put into projects such as this and the Athens Welcome Center and so many others around Athens, Clarke County, that's one expression of his enduring legacy, and it helps us to feel like he's still with us into the future.
Well, let me just say this to the three of you. SPLOST projects don't happen overnight. And we know that we're going to have to figure out the way forward for that. But we also know that this legacy is secured thanks to Jerry. I think the statement was beautiful. And I'm so glad that folks are taking the time to say thanks, because we do feel so thankful for him. We're so thankful that his path from his youth. I mean, I know he's talked frequently about his eye-opening experiences on civil rights, the importance of neighborhoods. We're so glad that his road led him to Athens. And let me just say this, in the coming months, as it is safer for us to be together, you should anticipate two things. One is that our board president can't wait to deliver in person this year's award, so that it can be placed amongst, I'm sure, numerous other remembrances that you've been given. But then also, I'll just say personally, as executive director, one of my first calls I'll make when we get the all clear is I'd love to walk the grounds of Beach Haven with you and just take you out there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I don't want to put you on the spot anymore, but just know that we love him and we love you, and we're so grateful. Athens is a much better city for having had Jerry NeSmith. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Terry, may I make a personal comment?
Yeah, please.
I remember distinctly when he was mentoring you and wrote your letter of recommendation. He talked about you, and I'm sure he just had great pride and admiration as he watched you become the leader that you are in this community today. And he did that with many people that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
And that was just who he was.
Well, let me say in response that if I had a concern prior to starting this segment, it was whether or not you all might get upset and shed some tears. Now I'm working on my own.
Yeah, we're all borderline.
Border.
Yeah,
I try to take care of things.
Yeah, that's right. Classic City Loggers, very helpful. The image of Jerry in my mind will always with his long velvety black duster, his ability to smile and to warmly welcome people into conversations, and I really appreciate you adding that last remark. That's very meaningful. And thanks again for sharing him with all of us here in Athens. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and slide y'all off screen. I'm going to bring David back on to close us out. But thank you. And again, all our love. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you very much. Bye.